everybody. We're back with another team preview. This time we have Randal Flagg football and the commissioner's brother here. And do you think Randal Flagg is a top three team?
Yeah, I put no. I think he's a playoff team. But I just don't have as much confidence in my brother to perform or draft properly. If you look at his recent success in the LOC, he's really struggled. But he has built a good roster, and I definitely think he's a playoff team.
I think he's top three. Just looking at his running back room, Josh Jacobs, Miles Sanders, DeAndre Swift, Joe Mixon, and throw in Boston Scott just for a good filler when needed. I think that's pretty good running backs there. Looking at his wide receivers, you got DK Metcalf, AJ Brown, Mike Williams, Jacoby Myers and Alan Lazard and Amon-Ra St. Brown are 4, 5, 6 in any order that you want. And then you throw in Tim Patrick as a number 7. I think that is a 1 through 7 punch there that he has. And then you can throw in somebody like Zay Jones and Jalen Gutton, who I think is actually going to have a pretty decent year this year. His wide receiver 1 through 9 are probably the best that we can talk about. And then you look at he has DeForest Buckner, Roquan Smith. So I think his team's pretty stacked. IDPs, wide receivers, and then we even talk about his tight ends here. Dallas Goedert, sleeper tight end for me. I think he's top 5 finish. Kyle Pitts, the Starling tight end 1, 2, 3 potential there. So as long as he can get a serviceable quarterback for QB2, again, I think he'd finish his top 3 easily.
Well, and that's the big question, right? So the offseason questions are, what is the second quarterback? And he has no round 1 to address that. So that's going to be potentially a problem when you're picking at pick 28 for your second quarterback. One thing I will say about Brian, and maybe something that we haven't mentioned enough often, his draft last year was awesome. He got Kyle Pitts in round 1 to fill a tight end need. In round 2, he got Amon-Ra St. Brown, who had 90 catches last year. A lot of people don't realize that in a piss poor offense in Detroit, Amon-Ra St. Brown delivered. So he had a great draft last year. And I agree with you at the wide receiver room. But also part of that offseason question was the running backs make it or break it season. Here's the guys I see in that category. Miles Sanders, he's in a contract year. He's always hurt. Josh Jacobs, from what I'm hearing, coaching change. Kenyon Drake and Brandon Bolden have both played for McDaniels. It sounds like Josh Jacobs could end up being the odd man out there. And then you throw in DeAndre Swift. he really hasn't lived up to his draft performance to date, even though I think that he will probably improve because he's still quite young. But you're right. The roster's built to win now. But that second quarterback in that super flex spot could be the downfall for Brian.
You're right. QB, if he picks up somebody like, I want to say Mr. Trubisky, but I don't even know if he's going to start. So if you can get like a serviceable, either go for Jacoby Brissett or even Drew Lock, I think they'll score 10 to 15 points for him, whoever the starting quarterback there is. And I think that gives him the W.
Well, Brian's biggest challenge is he's in a division with the former champ, and that's Matt and Bill's Mafia. And Bill's Mafia has Josh Allen and Matthew Stafford as his quarterbacks, 2 very high-powered offenses. And until Brian can get over the hurdle of beating Bill's Mafia in the division, I don't think he's a top 3 team. And he's definitely a playoff team. But I think Bill's Mafia still has the edge in that division just because of his quarterback room.
Quarterback room, yes. Running back room, wide receiver room, give me Randal Flagg football.